Welcome back to my channel. I am in the mood for fall reads. I don't know about you guys, but I am just really finally settling into the fact that summer is coming to an end, fall is here, and I just really wasn't ready to tap into that yet. But today we are starting a fall reading vlog. Now I do have a stack of 6 books. I've got romance, I've got some magical realism, I've got some thriller mystery options that we can get into and see how we feel about them. These are not like your typical leaves on the cover, like orange books, you know, like what you think of the epitome of fall, like reading. But for me, it definitely is what I'm into. Now, we're gonna spend a lot of time here in this bed. As you can see, I did have a scar revision on a bilateral brachioplasty, which is essentially just its arm lift, and that was after losing 120 pounds. So I'm in a lot of pain, you guys. I'm in a lot of pain and I just want to relax. My husband and the kids actually just went to go grab me a coffee and a cake pop so I can lay here and enjoy my books. I have the 4 books here and I already decided which one I'm going to start with, and then what I'm going to do is throughout the week as I finish the books, I'm going to head over to Instagram, put up a poll, and let everyone pick my next read. So we're going to start with the one that I want to read first to kick off the video good, which is Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. I really wanted to read this when I was in California and I did not get a chance. Now this is featuring 2 people who have some limb differences. Our FMC, she has, I think it's like an underdeveloped hand. And our author, Hannah Bonham Young, also does too. So in the beginning, she actually breaks that down and how she felt about it and what inspired her to write this book. And then we have our MMC, who is, I believe, an amputee, because I did make it through 2 chapters last night to kind of gauge what the book was about. And they kind of have a little meet cute at a Halloween party. So I feel like this was perfect for fall because everything starts off with a one-night stand at a Halloween party. Yeah, so like I was saying, this does take place there at a Halloween party. It's a meet cute, and there is an accidental pregnancy trope. And I know that's not everyone's favorite, but I've really actually enjoyed the accidental pregnancy tropes that I have personally read. So I want to dig into this, see how we like it before we get into people watching. And I will say that for some reason I was speed reading through her writing. Her writing just seemed very appealing, very simple, and I don't know how. I was reading like 2 pages a minute, not a page per minute, and that's a pretty good sign that the book is going to be a really easy read for me. Now, the book itself is 357 pages, so she's not super duper long, but she's not super duper short either. So that's what we're going to go ahead and get into while I wait for my coffee. And then I also have these 5 beautiful books here to read and choose from during the vlog. So we're gonna get right on into it and see how we like it. Let me tell you, the spicy, they're getting right down to business. I don't know what happened. I had to reread the paragraph 2 times, but they're getting right down to business. Am I the only person that like doesn't want to hear about teeth during a spice scene? Like, I don't want to hear teeth clashing, teeth knocking, teeth clicking, teeth cracking. Like that's all I imagine. Just FYI for all the authors out there, like the mention of teeth gives me anxiety. I don't know about you guys, but it gives me anxiety. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. Now this is my first time reading Hannah Bonham Young, and I just felt like that was so realistic. Now, you know, I am not like a spice girly if you've been here for a while. I mean, I think everyone goes through a phase where they're just kind of reading it like all the time. And for me, like the scene needs to feel realistic, not mechanical, because I feel like it can take away from the story. That's not what I'm reading the story about. There are times when those books, and if you love spice, then just read your spice. But for me, like in these types of books where there's this bigger picture at hand, I feel like it can take away from the story, as you guys heard me talk about in Promise Me Sunshine. But it's not just not being there for no reason, it's when it just doesn't sound real. Like, I immediately get taken out of whatever it is that I'm reading, and I just really enjoyed that scene. If you couldn't tell, I enjoyed their chemistry, just as two people who have just met, and the fact that she was able to write them with so much chemistry is really, really great. So I'm having high hopes so far for this book, because I can tell we're going to touch on a lot of uncomfortable topics, like some topics that you just don't walk around talking about all the time. And I love that, and I love the way that it's being written, because yeah, I hope that makes a lot of sense. I'm really enjoying this one. I really, really am. And if this one goes good, then I am 100% gonna go ahead and grab People Watching. I really, really want that book simply because of the cover, but the way that this is written, I can just tell that she's a great writer. So I'm gonna continue reading, and I'll touch bases with you guys when I get like halfway through the book and let you guys know how I'm feeling about it. Until then, I'm gonna be sitting here sipping on my coffee and probably ask my husband to bring me Chick-fil-A. Okay, you guys, I am 27% of the way through with the book. I've been not really reading all day. I slept quite a bit due to my arms and just being really tired, because it's important to rest whenever you have any type of surgery, to just try and heal. But I want to give you guys a little update. So we're pregnant, and I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm trying not to spoil it too much, but we're on good terms. We're pregnant, we're on good terms. How I feel about her writing, I think I said this earlier, I might have said it like on my Instagram stories, that her writing feels a lot like Cara Bastone's. So if you really enjoy her writing, I think you'll enjoy Hannah Bonham Young a lot. Oh gosh, it's so hard to like fan myself because of my arms, but I'm just gonna let it air dry. But yeah, it feels really smooth and quirky, and our FMC is just like a little bit out there. Like, she's goofy and she's silly, and I get the same type of vibe from the FMCs in Cara Bastone's books. So I could see why I got this rec from Eden Archives, and I could see why she would like this book, because she's a real huge fan of Cara Bastone's book Ready or Not, and they feel very similar. So I already shared this in like a short, but I'm gonna use this under eye cream. What is this? Look, you guys, I am not a beauty influencer by Bioma, and I usually use, you guys have seen me use the one by Good Molecules before, but I ran out and my Target was all out. So I've actually been liking this one. Dare I say better? Dare I say it? But anyways, yeah, and then our side characters, like her friends are okay. I don't know how I really feel about the friends in this one. Her friend's okay. She's not my favorite, but we haven't had a lot of time with her, and I know that the next book is her and her husband's story, so we'll get a little bit more in depth with them once I read that. But our MMC is very sweet. He's very sweet, and I mean, I am really loving him. I'm really loving him. And if you're new here, you may not know this, and if you've been here for a while, now we're gonna go in with our fake beauty influencer with our niacinamide serum to keep our pores down in the humid state of Virginia. But for me, a lot of times the MMC can make or break the story for me. Like, I am huge on their behavior, how they act, like how they talk. I've had entire stories ruined simply because of how the man was written, and I am enjoying him. So far so good. I don't see this as, like, for me personally, like a 5-star or anything like that, but it's definitely cute and fluffy and perfect for starting in this fall season, since it starts at the Halloween party, and right now we're kind of like in the winter time. So she'll be going through all of the seasons because her baby's due at the end of July, and we'll see what happens with that. And then last but not least, you guys know I use the rose hip oil, and I usually use a lot at night. And this will make you feel nice and like juicy in the morning, especially since it's getting colder outside over here and you don't want to be like dry and like your face feeling tight. You'll feel nice and moisturized in the morning. Gosh, this is so hard with my arms. But yeah, I think that by tomorrow night I'll get this book finished, and start the next one. I'm not sure, but I am already over a quarter of the way through. So we'll see if I can get halfway through before I go to bed, and I'll give you guys another little update on it. But so far so good. I'm loving it. Before I turn it in for the evening, I just want to say that everyone's conversation and banter between one another in this book is phenomenal. Like, if you are goofy, if you're like a little jokester and you like to cross just boundaries just a little bit, you like to call people out just a little bit, and you're not offended, you're gonna enjoy this friend group completely. So like, I know I was saying after I got out the shower and stuff that like the friend Sarah, I wasn't really feeling her, but I feel like all together they just all mesh so well. And it's like the opposite couples, they're bantering together, the girls are, and it's actually really, really, really funny. I've been smiling the entire time that I've been reading. I've only been reading, I think, for like 15 minutes. I'll probably read for like another 15 to 30 minutes or something and go to bed. But I just wanted to throw that out there, because if you like that, you're gonna enjoy this like a lot. Good morning, it's the next day. And I had a horrible sleep, but I did get pretty far in my book. I got 51% of the way through, so we're at the halfway mark, and I probably won't do another update until I finish it. But I actually am thoroughly enjoying this. Now, is this a 5-star read for me? I automatically know that it's not a 5-star read for me. Like, usually a 5-star, I get that feeling like within the first like 50 pages of the book or less. Like, I can really, really tell. But this book is diving into a lot of different topics, and one of the topics that I haven't talked to you guys about is abuse. Now, she did not experience physical abuse, and this is going to be a spoiler, so if you don't want to hear the spoiler, go ahead and fast forward to the conclusion of this book. But it talks about the effects and how that changes the relationship dynamics and the trust that you have for someone who has experienced like verbal abuse. I mean, wow. I mean, this type of abuse does not just happen from partners. It can happen from parents, from siblings, from friendships. Like, all different types of relationships can have that type of abuse in it, and it really, really shines a light on that. And it doesn't really go into any detail. Like, if you've read Long Shot, you know that that book describes abuse very, very graphically. This kind of just sprinkles the idea of what she went through and how she's trying to trust Bo throughout the process after experiencing that previous relationship. So I really do like that about this book, especially for those of you who do not want to read like extreme graphic details. So this is a great way to kind of learn from that and get compassion about that, and I'm actually enjoying that a lot. And once again, very goofy, very funny, great dynamic. They're starting to get to know each other, learn each other, and I'm actually really believing their bond in their relationship, especially since they both had separate connections to both of their friends. They had the same friends but separately, and how that kind of comes together. And I think that kind of brings an ease to the relationship that they're building with one another. And there's no pressure, there's no sexual intimacy, there's nothing like that. They're just solely getting to know each other. So after the initial spy scene, the one night stand that they have, after that there's none. I mean, I haven't seen any. I'm sure there might be one towards the end, but I have not seen another one yet. And I really do actually like that, because I think it brings a more like a genuine connection that's not based off of a sexual connection. And I really like that over doing spice to bring people together is like the only way to solidify that they have this bond. And I think that's so much more special, in my opinion. Don't take offense to what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, if you're reading or watching romantic movies and you see the build up to the actual intimacy, to me is the real core foundational piece to it. So really enjoying it. I am going to point at things to tell my kids to do, since I'm obviously still bandaged up for a while, and then I'm going to sit down, dig into this, and hopefully finish this by the end of tonight. We have finished Out on a Limb. I think this is the first book that I finished in like 48 hours, maybe a little bit more, since I read The Perfect Sun by Frida McFadden, and that was all the way in July. Wow, I absolutely adored this story. I mean, wow. First, let's go ahead and dig into the rating. I'm gonna give this a very solid, even level 4-star. I could see if someone gave it like a 3.7, and I could see how 3.75, and I could see how some people might give it like a 4.5 star. Now for me, it's just a solid, very good done, like well done 4-star. This book features our characters Win and Bo, and they have a one-night stand like I talked about on Halloween. So that's kind of like that fall element that had me read it for the fall time. And it also transpires through the seasons, and then towards the end we're back in the fall. We basically also get 2 epilogues as well. I'm not really a fan totally of epilogues, because once I see the word epilogue, it kind of checks me out of the story, but I did persevere and read both of them. So, oh my gosh, this book touches on so many things. And I already previously mentioned that it does talk about DV, verbal DV, and how that has affected our FMC and her interactions with others and her confidence and her ability to trust Bo throughout the story. And kind of over time, she allows herself to open up and feel vulnerable and trust him, and they become a unit. I do believe this technically is a he falls first as well. We just don't really realize it from the very beginning, and it just was so beautifully done. We also have talks of PPD, postpartum eshin. I don't know if YouTube will like flag me if I say that word, but we do talk about it, and it does talk about the unaliving of a character. So if you are sensitive to that, make sure you read the trigger warnings. I think that Hannah did a great job of putting all the trigger warnings in the front. And I mean, I felt even over prepared, like of what was going to be in the book, the graphicness of it, but she did not overdo the graphicness of what was talked about in this book. But while that part actually really hit me, like as you guys know, I have 6 kids, and I've suffered from different levels, all the way from maybe just a little bit of baby blues all the way to having those type of thoughts and thinking about carrying out those actions. So I think that's a really heavy topic that I don't think I've read any books that touch on that, and I really loved that touch. It's really important to talk about. I know that the generation before me, like when I first had it with my oldest, it was very like blown off and wasn't talked about. It wasn't taken serious, and it was almost as if it was my fault, and I just felt so much for that character, and I loved that. So Hannah, you will definitely be being added to the authors that I want to buy, because the writing was just so smooth. It felt like butter. If I say that it feels like butter, I mean that, and that's how I felt about this book. Now, I did put a poll up over on my Instagram account with these 3 options: the Hex X, Everyone is Lying, and the Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. You guys right now tell me which one you would have voted for. And if you're not following me over on Instagram, make sure that you do click that link down below, so that way you can participate when I do videos like this. So that way I have a more accurate count of what my YouTube audience wants to see me doing. So it's 11 o'clock right now, and as you guys know, I'm on day 4 post-op of my surgery. My arms are a little tight, but today I did tell my husband, I said, hey, I need to go on a walk. Would you mind coming with me? That's what we're about to go do, because I tried to go outside yesterday, and you guys, I got so lightheaded and dizzy, absolutely not going on a walk by myself. So he's gonna come with me on a walk to kind of just get everything moving, if you know what I mean, after you have surgery, and go grab a coffee. And then I'm going to check the results of the poll, and that'll be the next book that I'm going to read. So let's see how many pages. The Very Secret Society is 316 pages. Everyone is Lying is 319 pages. And then the X Hex, oh, this one I think is the shortest, is only 308 pages. So all of these will be great to read in like a 2-day span while I'm sitting here in my bed. So let's go take care of the walk and the coffee and then see what the Instagram people want me to read next. Hold on, you guys, I totally forgot before I go on this walk. I never really ever annotate or highlight. I've only done it in like a few books, but this got me. I pulled out my highlighter. It's on page 242. And this is when Wynn realizes that she is falling for Beau, and she says, and I can see it, clear as any memory. We'd build our kid a treehouse in the spring and drink wine on unhurried summer evenings on the back porch, our limbs intertwined as we sit on a swinging bench watching them play. I don't know what it was. It was just that realization, and that this, the picture of your life with the person that you're falling in love with, and the way that she worded it with our intertwined limbs. And if you know, like I said, both of these characters have limb differences. One is an amputee and one has an underdeveloped hand. And wow, the way that she used that wordplay to really signify the connection that she was feeling with Beau, that was beautiful. And just a few sentences down, she says, the mess and the chaos and the beauty of a life well lived, a life shared. I just wanted to share that with you guys. I totally forgot, and I remember before I leave. So, I mean, just amazing. Well. I went on the Barnes & Noble's app and it said that they had people watching in stock. I went to get it and I forgot that on Sunday they close at 7. I forgot that they close at 7 on Sundays. So I'm probably gonna go back in the morning and go get that. I went to Target to see if they had any more fall type books for the next fall reading vlog, and they didn't. They were like completely gone. But I did pick up a couple things. I'll show them to you guys. I got this little candle. I'm here for the books. Here for the, it will not. There we go. I'm here for the books. And this one is vanilla chai. It has a softer scent than the pumpkin spice one that they had. So I actually did not get that one. And this smells really, really good. I don't normally do candles because I'm really, really sensitive to candles, but I thought it would be like part of the vibe, right? For like the fall reading. Also, I got this root beer poppy because I did not know that they had a root beer flavor, and my husband saw it and I had mentioned it to him earlier this week. And so I grabbed that. And then I get this, what is this? Myers spray every single fall. I don't do this specific type of like cleaner all the time because I know that it's really, really toxic and I'm sensitive to fragrance, but I use it like every once in a while. I don't use any fragrances during the winter time, and then I use the peony one during the spring, and then other than that I kind of use like vinegar to clean. And then I got these for my kids, and I told them if they went to bed on time tonight that they would get their little pumpkin sugar cookies. So that's what I ended up getting instead of books. I'm really, really upset. I can't believe I forgot that they close at 7 o'clock on Sundays, but whatever, they'll be open tomorrow morning. So I put the poll up, and these are the results right here for both of these books. So this leaves me with the need to pick. Do I pick the thriller, which is usually really good for me, like after a romance, or do I pick the magical realism, which has like an aspect of romance? What do I do? Before I pick, I just want to say that if you are not, once again, following me over on Instagram, please do, because you guys are the ones who are watching the vlogs, and I have Instagram followers from so many different aspects of my content creation journey that some of them don't care what I'm reading, but you guys are here because you do. So if you're not, go to AdrianaFaye_, follow me over there, so that way you guys can help me whenever I'm doing polls and help me pick what I'm doing in a day, what I'm gonna read next, what I'm eating, what I'm wearing to bed. You guys help me, okay? Please go over there and do that. So what I think I'm gonna go ahead and read is gonna be the Everyone Here Is Lying by Cherie Lapina. I'm gonna go ahead and do this one because it's a thriller. It's only 317 pages, so usually that's a really good thing. The words are not huge, because I really hope to read at least 3 books in this vlog for you guys. So gonna read this one, and then I will do a final poll between the last 4 books, which will be this one, The Ex-Hex Again, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and Once Upon a Time in Dollywood. So you guys will see later what the people over on Instagram choose, okay? But I'm going to get ready for bed, start reading this, and keep you guys posted on how that is going. I'm also gonna eat this cookie in honor of your nieces and nephews. And now we read. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So last night I got to page 30 and I had to take like a muscle relaxer. I was just really hurting last night. So I just really needed to get some rest. And wow, this is like a whodunit, I believe, as I'm following along, because there are lots of characters and I believe we're going to figure out which one of these characters is the culprit on why the 9-year-old girl is missing. So we have a love affair, we have 2 marriages that are falling apart, we have siblings, we have detectives, police officers, we are canvassing the area. Like, we have all of these things in place already. And I want to say this storytelling kind of reminds me of like a mix between S.A. Cosby and the guy who wrote And There He Kept Her. Just the way that this story is written, like, so-and-so did, Nora Blanchard is glued to the evening news. Like, that's the way the storytelling. What person is that? Like, what? Tell me, because I can't remember what person that is in writing. But I actually am really enjoying this. If I wouldn't have been so tired after taking some medicine for my arms, I probably would have got to like page 100, honestly. It's really, that's like, the writing is really simple, just like the last book, and I love that. Like, there are just some writing styles that cause you to take longer to read the page, and this is not doing that at all, not for me personally. So I'm gonna continue reading this because I'm actually gonna go back to Barnes. I want to go to Barnes, go get the books for my next vlog after they were closed last night. I actually want to try and also go to Trader Joe's today, go get like some flowers for the house, like kind of make it feel a little bit more fallish and like me feel a little bit better, get some treats for the kids. And I'm trying to think, oh, I want those cups, those like Anthropology dupes that people get, and I think people get them at like Home Goods. So Trader Joe's and Home Goods are right next to each other, so if I do that, then I can go to both places and see. And then I need to sit and plan before my husband goes back to work, if we're gonna be going to the apple orchard before he goes, which would be before the end of the weekend, or just wait until a little bit later, because usually they don't have Granny Smith apples until like the beginning of October, and we always go before the Granny Smith apples are ready. And I want the Granny Smiths, like, that's why I'm going. I don't want the Golden Delicious, I want the Granny Smiths, okay? If we don't do that, then we can plan like a pumpkin patch trip for the end of the week. So I'm gonna keep on reading, get my headphones. You guys know how I am, gotta listen to my rain sounds and lock in. And also yesterday I got my coffee for today. I'm already prepared. I didn't even drink it for this morning. And if you're new here, I'm a cold brew girly. So that is the pumpkin cream cold brew with light ice, just like you get more coffee. And since it's been in the fridge, it's cold. And since I'm not in a deficit, I don't ask for this, but usually like when I was in a deficit before I went back home, I would say with light foam. So that way it kind of cuts your calories in half. And instead of the vanilla pumps that they put inside, you can switch it out for the sugar-free vanilla pump. So it would take the coffee from like 250 calories down to like 110, 150, just like a vanilla cream cold brew, but it's pumpkin. So anyways, before I start yapping, let's get our headphones on. Let's get my playlist. I'll actually put it right here, what I've been listening to. Let me screenshot it so I remember, or I'll be like, wait, where'd it go? Boom. screenshotted just for y'all. And let's read. So just to be clear, there is a character who saw the missing person, and obviously I don't think that's the person who did it, but their entire monologue is pissing me off. I just want to note that. It's making me so angry because if you were just honest in the first place, then you wouldn't have to deal with the guilt and whatever it is that you're saying you're feeling. But whatever. I really think this is written well. I like the fact that it's touching in everybody's mind and everybody's actions are kind of coming to light. Like, everyone here is lying. Like, everyone here has caused whatever has happened in some way, shape, or form, but it's done so well. So I read everyone in my family has killed someone, and if you guys watch my reading wrap up, like my first ever reading wrap up here on my channel, I think it's for January, February, March, I think, yeah, you will see that I did not enjoy that book at all, and it kind of was attempting to feel sort of like this, but it just wasn't working. The way that these characters' minds and like snippets of their thought processes and the unraveling from the very beginning of how they're all liars is bringing it into a more realistic like realm for me. Like, I don't know if I'm wording myself correctly because I'm still half asleep, but it just feels more realistic. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Honestly, I had no intention of popping on here until I was done with this here book. I think it might be like 2 days later, and I picked it back up today. I just had been really tired, just like trying to heal from the surgery. But I wish I would have my camera on like while I was reading this, but the reveal just happened and I'm pissed. Like, I just really wanted to give that update. I can't really say anything, but just know everyone here is lying. I can't say anything, but I am thoroughly irritated. So I am currently on page 204, and I think I can finish this in the next hour because I have basically 100 pages left. Just wait till y'all read it, okay?
I'm done. Cut the show. I'm done.
Okay, I had to go take a everything shower after finishing Everyone Here Is Lying. How do we feel about this book? Now, I went back and forth on the rating. I initially thought that I was gonna rate this a solid 4 stars, and then my mind started telling me to rate it a 3 star. So we're gonna give this a 3.5 stars. That's not a bad rating. I just felt like there was a point when the plot twist happened, and maybe we should have held off like another 15 pages or something, because after the plot twist happened, I felt like the series of events that happened unfolded in a very chaotic way that just didn't do anything for the story. Now, is this bingeable? Yes, absolutely. I could have finished this book in 2 days or less, but I was just really tired from the surgery, and I cannot really get too much into the entire plot, but I can tell you some things that really stood out to me. Every single character has a plot line. So throughout the story, in the chapters, The characters are switching POV continuously. You're always in the mind of every single one of the characters. They all have secrets and they're all intertwined and they are all unraveling due to the missing girl. I really enjoyed that. Now, one of the aspects that really started to get to me was we have detectives here, but I felt like they didn't play a role in doing anything. I felt like one of them was a little bit more to the front, and then one of them, who was supposed to be like the senior detective, just felt like he was just written in the story just to be written in the story as sort of a senior position to the other detective. But they did really no detective work, which was odd to me. And I kept on reading thinking that they were going to uncover something or do something or make some big drastic decisions to help in the case, and then it didn't ever happen. And so I really don't want to spoil it for you guys, but it was a good thriller for sure. I definitely feel like it's worth the read if you enjoy kind of like that detective mystery thriller. But it could have been a little bit better in the end. And then I felt like the way that we ended the story was kind of unnecessary. So it kind of leaves you on this huge cliffhanger. Like, it's a huge cliffhanger, as if there's going to be another book or if there was going to be an epilogue, and you don't receive any of that. And I actually really did not like that at all. And how was it that the person who causes the cliffhanger even had any inclination to the fact? I just don't know, because there was like some very key questioning during the end by a specific character, and then we don't get anything else out of that, and that happens in the last 5 pages. So but I do still think that it was a really good story. It just, there could have been some better development within the plot. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. So now I am going to actually pick my final book out of this stack. I was going to go over onto Instagram, but like I told you guys, I really need you guys to go over there and follow me for videos like this, like vlogs, help me choose what I do in a day, pick my next reads, things like that. So that way you guys can go over there and vote for that. I've been thinking long and hard, and I don't think I want to do, can you guys see, because there's a glare, I don't think I want to do another thriller, so I definitely don't want to do that one. And I'm thinking, I do really want to read Once Upon a Time in Dollywood, but I'm thinking that for the fall season, and to kind of give you guys like a spooky rec, that I should definitely pick between the 2 witchy books. I've never read a witchy book outside of Practical Magic and The Rules of Magic. So you guys, I am so greasy because like I said, I did an everything shower. So I did my face stuff, and it's like giving me like ventriloquist lines. I don't know, whatever. Let me see. Honestly, I might just pick the one that's shorter. The X-Hex is 308 pages. Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches is 316 pages. So the X-Hex is going to be the winner. So I'm gonna start this one tonight after I do dinner, put the kids to bed and everything like that. And I think tomorrow morning I'm gonna see if either my husband wants to come with me, or I might try and drive, but like my arm is like super swollen. I know you guys aren't here for that, but that's what it looks like. Look at like right on the edge. It's super duper swollen. So if it's still like that, I won't. But maybe go sit at the coffee shop for a little bit, because we're supposed to go pumpkin patch, and read for a minute by myself before we have a chaotic morning. But I'm gonna read you guys the synopsis so that way you guys know what we're getting into. So it says, never mix vodka and witchcraft. 9 years ago, Vivienne Jones nursed her broken heart like any young witch would. Vodka, weepy music, bubble baths, and a curse on the horrible boyfriend. I said vodka like I'm from California. I'm so sorry, you guys. Vivi knows she shouldn't use her magic this way, but with only an orchard hayride scented candle on hand, she isn't worried it will cause him anything more than a bad hair day or two. This is until Reese Penhallow, descendant of the town's ancestors, breaker of hearts, and annoyingly just as gorgeous as he always was, returns to Graves Glen, Georgia. What should be a quick trip to recharge the town's ley lines and make an appearance at the annual fall fair turns disastrously wrong. With one calamity after another striking Reese, Vivi realizes her silly little ex-hex may not have been so harmless after all. Suddenly, Gray's Glen is under attack from murderous window toys, a pissed off ghost, and a talking cat with some interesting things to say. Vivi and Reese have to ignore their off-the-charts chemistry to work together to save the town and find a way to break the breakup curse before it's too late. Oh, so this is actually like a little comical at that. I think this is perfect just to kind of get me out of everyone is lying, because earlier I was reading this when the big like plot reveal was happening and my toddler was hiding and like she wouldn't respond. She was purposely hiding and scaring us. And I was like, I'm done with that. So I'm gonna start this tonight. I'll update you guys, let you know how I'm feeling about it. And hopefully I can actually get this read within the next 2 days. We'll see. Okay, so it is the next morning and I'm about to start reading. I only made it to chapter 2. So I read the prologue and chapter 1 yesterday. I don't know what it was, but I wasn't really connecting with the story, like from the very first sentence. So my husband actually went to go grab some coffee so that way I could get up and try and have like a little bit of undistracted reading before the kids start getting up. It's like super duper stormy in Virginia right now, so we've been up for quite a while because it was just so loud, like it woke us up. It's 6 in the morning now, so I could probably get like a good hour in, and let's see what that means. So I'm on page 17, and when I do another check-in, we'll see how many pages I get through. And usually how many pages per hour kind of tells me like how I'm enjoying the writing, because I can usually read 40 to 60 pages per hour if I'm really enjoying a book. But I know that if I'm like 20 pages per hour, that the writing itself is literally causing me to be distracted. Like if I feel like I'm rereading sentences and things like that and I can't focus, that's a problem. So I don't know if it was just because I was tired, you know, like because the healing process and everything, and also if I was kind of like burnt out from reading Everyone is Lying because of like how I felt about how the story turned out, which we'll do a full recap at the end of the video. So I'm gonna give this a solid chance of some quiet time, and then we'll talk about how I'm feeling about the story then. Totally forgot to set the scene for you guys, but basically what I've gotten so far is you have a witch who met someone and they dated for 3 months, and then he randomly said, well, I have to go. The male witch, I have to go. I'm engaged to be betrothed in my home country of Wales. So yeah, she's mad, and her cousin, who's also a witch, was like, well, let's curse him. And they did a curse, but it was like playful. They were like, oh, it's not real, when it was over. But obviously we know that it is, and that's kind of the setting for it. So it has a good premise. It sounds kind of silly, but yeah, we also met the MMC's family, and I wasn't really too impressed by the family members either. Like I didn't feel like I cared about what they like the setup of the family, but I don't know. I'm not going to just say that based off of reading it for 16 pages. But yeah, I wanted to make sure I told you guys that. So I'm gonna be honest, it is now 6:23 and I've read 5 pages. Let me move my bowl. Hold on. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I just enjoy this type of stuff better visually, if it's the writing. I'm not sure. I'm gonna continue and see how far we get. I'm waiting for my coffee here, as you guys heard. But see, now I'm already confused about the MMC's motives, because he stated literally on the previous page that the FMC wasn't serious compared to other women that he had dated after her. But then now he's complaining, saying that it cost me to lose Vivienne. So it's just like, I don't like when there's parts of someone talking in a story and then they contradict themselves. Like, I always catch it mentally. Like, I already clocked that you said that or that you did this, and then now you're saying something different. And for me, like, the fact that it's on the next page, I'm gonna keep on reading. I'm not gonna count it out. I'm just saying, like, I don't like that. Okay, we're back. This is about Vivienne and all the ways he mucked it right up. But in this same chapter, he said that this was not a serious relationship. I'm gonna just pretend like he didn't say that, since now we know that it was. Oh, why, thank you.
I had to ask Mike to go over it.
Oh. Thank you. Sisters, I fell back asleep. So I ended up making it to page 38 when I placed my bookmark back inside of my book. And honestly, that had been after reading almost the full hour. So like I thought, it wasn't me. It definitely is the writing. I don't usually DNF books. So I'm gonna try and push through today and see where that gets us. And I'm just gonna give it that. I'm not gonna force myself to finish the entire book today. But yeah, once we get back from the pumpkin patch and do our things like that, I will definitely try to continue reading. Like, I didn't even drink my coffee. Like, it was sitting here, and then he just put it in a new cup and brought it back again. And I'm gonna drink it to kind of wake all the way up, because wow, I don't know if this book put me to sleep or what. And then also, like, I like watching some witchy movies. There are some that I don't watch anymore that I used to love. Like, I can't remember the last time I watched The Witches of Eastwick, because I just felt like it was a little, I don't know, I'm just not really into that stuff anymore. If you are, then that's fine. But I don't know if we get past certain things. Like, one of the things that I just don't mess with is like the tarot cards thing, and like they're like going into depth, like the whole scene. And maybe I should just skip this chapter and then continue from there, because that's just like one thing I'm just not gonna mess with. If that's me, like, I don't. So yeah, I don't know what it is. I really don't. So even like on Practical Magic, which is my favorite Halloween time movie, like, of all time, the scene where they're bringing him back to life and they like put the star and do all that stuff, I actually skip that scene now. I don't watch it at all. I skip that entire scene of the movie until maybe I do watch the part sometimes when he's like, I want you to be my wife. Will you promise me that? Sometimes I do, but most of the time I skip through the entire thing. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Well, we've made it to the end of the reading vlog, and if you have made it this far, thank you. I truly appreciate you guys. Before we get into wrapping up the X-Hex and how I feel after some time sitting on the other books, go ahead and like this video. Go ahead and subscribe if you have not done that yet. And like I've said throughout the video, if you have not went over into the description and follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Goodreads, go ahead and do that as well. Wow. So it's been about 2 weeks of me filming this vlog. I thought it was only gonna take me a week. It's not a full 2 weeks, but the surgery really did take a toll on me. I also thought I lost footage to the fall diaries that I was filming. And so my reading vlog is a little bit longer, a little bit chatty, yappy, because I feel like I was under duress while filming this vlog. And then I thought I was gonna have an excellent week of reading, and it really didn't turn out like that. So let's go ahead and jump into the X-Hex. So while reading this, I kind of cut the filming short. It actually took me five and a half days to finish this book, and I'm gonna give you a 3-part breakdown of the book. This book is about 300 pages. So you have about 100 pages of me almost DNFing this book. I do not really DNF books. I've DNF'd probably 10 or less in my entire reading life. And I got really, really close. Also, sorry for the jets. If you hear jets, it's because I live right outside of an Air Force base. So sometimes in my videos, you will hear jets blaring in the middle of the day. So let me go ahead and close this window and that should help. Okay, that's a little bit better. So the first 100 pages, actually I'm gonna split that in half as well. The first 50 pages, I did not even grasp what was happening. I felt like this author's flow of writing just wasn't there. It didn't feel really cohesive to me. And outside of the things that I talked about, the writing itself was holding me back from the story. Then it started to slowly kind of level out and get a little bit smoother, and it literally took to page 98 for me to finally say, okay, I'm into the story. Then there was the middle part of the book, which was a good 150 pages where I really was listening and understanding the story, and it felt just very like kind of cozy but like comedic, and I really enjoyed that part. I was like, oh, wait a minute, this is a completely different story. And then the last 50 pages kind of fell short for me as well. So initially I thought this was going to be a DNF 2-star, and then I thought that this was probably going to be like a 3.5, and so I'm going to land this book at a 2.75 3-star read. So it's still a good book, and maybe some of you will not get the first third of the book experience that I got and actually enjoy it all the way through. It's just those first pages just really removed so much for me and kind of tainted the story. So I'm gonna give it a 2.75. I wish, I've never done this, but maybe this is like a 2.85, maybe a 2.9. So I'll just round it up to a 3-star like I did on my Goodreads. And not that I won't recommend it. I think if you love spooky season, I think if you love witchy books, that you may really enjoy this. And I would have enjoyed it too. It was actually the author's writing, not the content of the book. So will I read the second book? I don't know. There are so many books out there that I don't know if I really want to read the second book. I didn't even look up what the second book was about. But if you guys actually have some cozy witchy books that are by Black authors, would you guys please recommend those to me down in the comments below? Because I would love to read some of those as well instead of forcing myself to read the second book. So yeah, will I recommend it to the witchy, cozy, witchy lovers? Yes. But if you don't enjoy the first 50 pages, do you need to read it? I don't know. Then we're gonna go back to Everyone Here Is Lying. I still stand by the 3.5. I did enjoy the story. I didn't like the unraveling of the final quarter of the book, but it was a solid thriller through and through. And I really loved the way that every character's plot was explained, and we learned about all the characters and how they interacted with one another. I talked a lot about this book, so I'm gonna leave that there. And then finally, let's recap Out on a Limb. This was my favorite book out of all 3 of the books. This is a solid 4-star read. It is perfect to read for the month of October, as it starts during Halloween and it ends during that time as well. And I absolutely loved the relationship between the characters, and I really loved like just the way that they talked and when they realized they loved each other. And hold on, let me go back to this real quick actually. This does have like 2 spicy type scenes, and I did not enjoy those either. I just didn't feel the connection between the characters or the spice scene in itself. Specifically, I want to say the second scene. I can't remember. I just really actually did not enjoy the spice scenes in that. But anyways, let's get back to this one. I did enjoy them in here. I loved that we got their story in the in the present and in the future, and how all of those things mix together. And I'm actually really excited to read Out in the Woods as well, which is book 2 out of this series. And I'm really excited to read People Watching now, because her writing was very, very good, and I'm so sad that it took me so long to finally pick up one of her books. So I will say that I had a decent week of reading, of fall reads. They definitely all fit the fall cozy vibe. I do have another fall reading vlog planned. I don't think it's gonna be an hour long next time, but I do have another one that has all new releases, and I'm really excited to read that one. So if you're excited for Sweet Heat by Bulu Babalola, People Watching, or if it makes you happy, stay tuned for that one. I should have that one out in the next couple of weeks. And until I see you guys next time, happy reading.